that the part would cleanly drop out of the work material. Next, I'm going to color mark a stainless steel keychain. Let's take a closer look at two key things I'm going to do to make sure that this will take marking from a CO2 laser and that this shiny reflective surface doesn't damage the laser machine. Here's a close-up of the stainless steel keychain, and we'll see as I kind of twitch it around, it absolutely is a mirror finish. Again, if I put this directly in the laser machine back here, the reflection of the laser beam off of this tag will damage the machine, and the CO2 laser will not be able to mark this bare stainless steel surface. So to solve two problems with one step, I'm going to apply a masking agent to this keychain, which will block the reflectivity, and this CRC dry moly will allow the CO2 laser to color mark this stainless steel tag. Here's one of the keychains sprayed with that dry moly lube, and we'll see it's no longer reflective and it has a nice matte finish. It's now ready to go inside the machine. We're going to see that when I move the reflection back and forth around the letters, you're going to see that the metal is slightly indented a little bit. And this means that this color marking, it's not just on the surface, but it's actually protruding going into the metal a little bit. This engraving is not going to just rub or scratch off easily. It's now a part of the stainless steel tag. The last item that I'll be engraving in this video is this pane of glass. The really neat thing about using a CO2 laser machine is it will directly engrave on glass. There's no masking agent or temper paint that needs to be applied to the surface. Clean, crisp detail on the glass engraving. Again, I didn't have to put anything on the surface. The laser machine was able to engrave directly to the glass. In just a minute, we're going to take a close-up and detailed look at all of the items that came off of the Onyx laser machine in today's video. A quick recap, I was able to engrave and cut through 3 different thicknesses of wood material. The same thing with the acrylics, cutting and engraving 3 different thicknesses of acrylics, and then moving on to marking a mirrored stainless steel tag, and then finally directly engraving on clear glass. Let's take a close-up look at what all of these look like. The 3mm basswood that comes with the Onyx machine, it engraved with nice, clean, crisp detail. The cutout is also very nice, and when I turn this up on edge, we'll see that the cutout line has very minimal charring. Next is the 1/4-inch plywood. Again, clean, crisp engraving across the top, clean cutout all the way around. And when we turn this on the side, there's just a very minimal amount of charring that's on the edge here. Not very much, and it really doesn't leave too much of a mark on my finger. Here's the 1/2-inch oak. Again, we have nice clean detail across the engraving, and when we cut through this, this does produce a little bit more char, but it did cut all the way through. Very impressive work. Moving on to the acrylics, here's the 3mm clear acrylic that comes with the Onyx machine. Again, nice, clean, crisp detail across the engraving. This was mirrored, so the engraving is actually on the back side. If you catch it in just the right light, we're going to see that there's a little bit of ghosting or hazing that's next to some of the letters, and this is due to the engraving dust that comes off. That is very hot, and some of it refuses back to the acrylic. Again, in a future video, I'll show you some of my tips and tricks to make sure that that doesn't happen, but in this video, I really wanted to show off how clean the cuts are from the Onyx machine. The 1/4 inch clear acrylic, we have the same thing. Nice clean detail on the engraving. When we flip it to the other side, we are going to see just a little bit of that haze from some of that acrylic dust that refused onto that surface. When we take a look at this on edge, we're going to see that it's nice and very smooth. The last acrylic is the black 3/8 thick acrylic. Once again, we have beautiful, crisp, clean detail on the engraving with, again, some of that haze from that acrylic dust refusing onto the surface. When we take a look at the edge, it looks mostly smooth. We do see a little bit of scorching on the very outside here due to this being the cut side. And again, in a future video, I'm going to show you how to get rid of any of that hazing, and I'll show you how to clean up any of these scorch marks from when it was being cut out. The stainless steel tag, out of all of the projects that came off of the laser machine today, this one has to be my favorite. I just love the color contrast between the text and this mirrored finish. Lastly is the glass engraving, and just like all of the engravings that came off the Onyx laser, this has beautiful, clean, crisp detail. I love doing glass on a CO2 laser machine. There's no masking or prep work that I need to do to the glass. I can simply take the sheet of glass, put it inside the machine, and hit the start button and get fantastic results exactly like this. Cutting and engraving wood products, acrylics, marking, stainless steel, and directly engraving onto glass. This is just a glimpse of what the Onyx laser machine by Monport is capable of. If you'd like to know more about this machine, I will have a link in the video description down below. Please check that out and bookmark it for future reference. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, show it some love by giving it a like, subscribing to the channel, or ringing that notification bell. It really helps the channel out, but it's also a great way to connect content like this with great viewers like you. Until next time, learn, create, and share.